At 49, the tragedy of Blake Shelton is beyond heartbreaking. Health updates: I didn't expect Blake Shelton's story to feel this complicated. I mean, when you think of him, you picture confidence, humor, that easygoing country charm. But the more I looked into it, the more I realized there's a side of his life people don't really talk about. And honestly, it changes how you see him. Most people know him from The Voice, the jokes, the back and forth, that laid back personality that makes everything feel light. But that version of Blake, that's just one layer. What surprised me is how much pressure sits underneath all of that. Because when you strip away the TV persona, you're looking at someone who's been in the spotlight for a long time, and not always in an easy way. His career didn't just grow, it exploded. Hit songs, awards, constant attention. And I think people assume that once you reach that level, everything just settles into place. But it doesn't. If anything, it gets louder. More expectations, more scrutiny, more opinions from people who don't even know you. And I don't know. That kind of environment feels exhausting just thinking about it. Then there's his personal life, public relationships, breakups that played out in front of everyone, moments that should have been private, suddenly becoming headlines. I can't imagine what that does to someone over time, because it's not just one moment, it's years of it. And even when things seem stable on the outside, that doesn't mean everything feels that way internally. What really stood out to me is how he's had to constantly balance two versions of himself: the public version, funny, confident, always in control, and then the private side, where things aren't always that simple, where pressure builds up, where expectations don't switch off. And yeah, I didn't expect that gap to be so real. There's also been growing conversations around his health and lifestyle. Nothing always clearly defined, nothing dramatic in a headline sense, but enough to make people wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. And I think that's where things get a bit uncomfortable, because we like clear answers. We like knowing exactly what's happening, but real life doesn't always give you that. Sometimes it's just small signs, changes over time, moments where something feels different, even if you can't fully explain why. And when you've been in the spotlight as long as he has, people notice everything, every shift, every pause. And that kind of attention never really turns off. I keep coming back to this thought: how do you stay yourself when millions of people feel like they know you? That has to take something out of you. Not all at once, but slowly. And maybe that's the part people don't see. Not a single big tragedy, but the weight of everything combined. Years of pressure, public expectations, personal highs and lows, all happening at the same time. And yet, he still shows up the way people expect him to. That same humor, that same presence, which honestly makes you wonder what it takes to keep that going. Because from the outside, it looks easy, but it probably isn't. And I think that's what stuck with me the most. Not just who Blake Shelton is on screen, but everything it might take to stay that person when the cameras are off.